And it's just really nice to have one with Hatsune Miku on it. I actually don't know what this... what is this? Hello and welcome to the Nihongo Gamer video. As you know, I'm a big fan of Hatsune Miku on this channel, and every time I go to an event in Japan known as Wonder Festival, there tends to be a booth known as the Good Smile Racing booth. To save up money and support the team, they sell tons of Hatsune Miku goods, and the money goes to the racing team itself. And this is one of the most interesting things I've actually seen before, because they usually have t-shirts and hoodies and cups. Like, for example, this cup is also a Good Smile Racing product that I bought from Wonder Festival. But this, it's a little bit more expensive than usual, but I thought it was totally worth it. This is one of the most useful things that any person can own. And personally, rather than owning multiple different tools for various different things, I love having one of these. It's a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. Actually, the usual one that I use in videos for unboxing things, I forgot to put it in my suitcase, and so I had it in my bag, and I basically wasn't allowed to take it in my hand luggage. Long story short, I've got another Victorinox. As you can see, I've already kind of unboxed it so that I can use it. It's got the code, actually. Every time you buy these Good Smile Racing products, you can actually register the code online with your Good Smile account, and you can compete with other people to have, like, given the most support to the team. So I'm just gonna give this a quick unbox here, and as you can see, it's actually got an instruction manual. You probably don't need that. So this is the main event. It's the Hatsune Miku Swiss Army knife. This is not a product I ever thought that I would be buying, but when I saw it, I was just like, oh my god. Like, the most useful thing that I've ever owned in my entire life is my Swiss Army knife, and so I know that I'm going to get great value out of this. Racing Miku 2019, it's got the Victorinox Swiss Army logo here on the front, and it's also got Hatsune Miku, of course, and on the back, written sideways, it's actually got Racing Miku, and I believe this says Hatsune Miku. Here, that's her logo on the side there. Alright, let's have a closer look at this Victorinox Swiss Army knife featuring Hatsune Miku. It is the Racing Miku Victorinox Swiss Army knife with the Racing Miku Hatsune Miku GT Project Krypton Future Music Media Works. I'm not really sure what it means. Actually, why am I wearing my headphones? Let's go ahead and look at all the functions. Now, the main event obviously is this main knife here. So if you've ever owned a pocket knife before, you'll recognize a knife like this. This is the main knife that you will use when you're at, Boy Scout Club and you're, chipping away at wooden totems and carving stuff. This is the one that you're going to want to use as a smaller knife, just in case, for whatever reason, you don't want to use the large one. You just need to use this smaller one. There's a smaller knife included as well. It's also got bottle openers of various different kinds. This is like a bottle. This is like the type that opens up a beer. You can like pry off the top of a beer with that one, but this is the one that actually opens up cans. You hook this onto the end of your can and you like slice into it to open up, like a tin of tomatoes. And this is actually my favorite feature of the Swiss Army knife. To be quite honest, when I own a Swiss Army knife, I don't actually use the knife feature that often. The main thing that I always find I'm using on a Swiss Army knife is this. It's actually the mini scissors. Now, the thing that's really nice about this is that it's small, it's compact, and the scissors are protected so that you're not gonna like you're not going to get cut if you have a pair of scissors in your pocket, because this is all folded up nice and safely. But it's got a little spring on these Swiss Army knives so that you can use it like a proper pair of scissors. And to be quite honest, I don't really need to cut things that often, but when I do, it's nice to have this. And it's actually very, very convenient for cutting my nails, because if you use a normal nail clipper, I think it's actually kind of bad for your nail because it like bends your nail into like a flat shape. But if you cut your fingernails with a pair of scissors, you can actually get it to the exact perfect shape without bending your nail out of shape and being quite painful, to be quite honest. So I much prefer using a pair of scissors to cut my nails. Other features on the other side of the knife are the corkscrew. This is actually quite useful. I've actually used this many, many times. You never know when you are going to need a corkscrew. So I've actually used this many times. It's not that easy to pull a cork out of a wine bottle with a pocket knife. But if you don't have a corkscrew, we have used all sorts of implements like spoons, forks, long sticks trying to open up a bottle of wine at a party without a corkscrew. You'll be glad that you had one of these. Other features in here, I actually don't think I've had this feature before. I actually don't know what is this? I'm actually not 100% sure what this is for. I assume it's for grabbing onto a thread somewhere and then threading it through something. I don't actually know what this is for. If you know what this is for, let me know in the comments below. This is the last feature. What is this? I'm gonna be honest, I can't exactly remember what this is for. You can just like prod it into things, and this tends to be quite useful. Again, I don't know why it's got a hole. The previous knife that I had before, it didn't actually have a hole in it, so I don't really know what this tool is for. Oh, I forgot to mention actually, on this bottle opener, it's actually got a screwdriver built into the top of the tin opener here, and even on this one, the can opener, the bottle opener as well, this one's got a slightly wider one. Dude, it's got all sorts of funky functions. I don't even know what this is. What is this for? To be 100% honest with you, I basically own a pocket knife so that I can have a pair of scissors ready at all times, and it's just really nice to have one with Hatsune Miku on it, and a good smile racing Hatsune Miku. Racing Miku 2019. It's got the special design that they drew for 2019. I'm a really big fan of this particular illustration. I think it was done really, really well. I love the outfit that they designed for her. I like that it's got the bold Racing Miku on the back. And what is this, a toothpick? I forgot that, because I've actually lost the toothpick in my previous one. I think I took it out and it got lost in my old one, so I don't even have it anymore. Yeah, can you imagine like actually using this to dig stuff out of your teeth? And well, just make sure that you clean this. Some of these Swiss Army knives, they have like pens and wait a minute, I think it does have a pen. I didn't even notice. Oh, no, it's not a pen. Sometimes they have a pen in here. This is actually a pair of tweezers. I'm like just discovering new stuff all the time. There's like 100 things that this can do, and it's smaller than the palm of my hand. Now, I have had a pocket knife that had a pair of tweezers like this before, but I find that the way that they make this is that whatever it is you're trying to tweeze out, sometimes it just gets cut, because I think they make this a little bit too sharp. If this were designed a little more differently, you might be able to actually pluck things out without them just being cut in half instead. So I've often found that this has not been the most useful pair of tweezers in the world. If you've never had a Swiss Army knife, I highly recommend them, especially just because then you don't need to have to buy a pair of, what do you call it, nail clippers for, you know, cutting your nails. And actually you can see that I probably need to go and clip my nails, so I may as well go and do it right now. So I'm gonna go clip my nails, but don't forget to comment, subscribe, share links and all that great stuff, and I'll see you in the next Nihongo Gamer video, maybe an episode of Epic Finds, which I think is quite a fun show that I can do, and it's nice and cheap because it's easy to find stuff that's in Japan, like for sale, quite cheap, that is hard to find around the world. So if there's anything you want me to check out, let me know in the comments below, or you can check us out in the Discord. There should be a link on my Twitter somewhere. I sometimes don't put the link in the actual video description below, but we can come and chat, talk about Japan, gear, all sorts of stuff, video games, all of that. See you in the next Nihongo Gamer video. How many times am I going to say that?